Nyekachi Douglas, currently known as Miss World Africa. At Miss World, she placed top 5 and was crowned Miss World Africa and Miss World Top Model. She was placed top in all the competitive sections at Miss World and was talked about on international news channels and trended worldwide for her joyful reaction to Miss Jamaica, Tony Ann Singh's win.
I keep watching that video back, right? And I can't help but notice Miss Jamaica, who actually won Miss World Africa, her confusion, because she's so excited and it looks like she doesn't know. Did I win? Did she win? Why is she jumping for joy like this? Like, tell me, what was going through your mind at that time?
I think it was just excitement. You know, I'm a very expressive person, and at that point in time, I was really just expressing what I was feeling inside. And I don't know if you watch all the other queens there, you would see that they were all very excited, and I feel like I was acting out what everyone else was feeling inside their hearts because I'm just that expressive.
It was really beautiful, and it was genuine, and it was authentic. But the topic of the discussion is winning everything? And for most people, it is. But for you, you clearly showed that not necessarily the case. But I'd like to hear it from your own words.
I think throughout my life, like growing up, I've been that one kid I'm very good at a lot of things, but at the end, at the point where you have to pick a number one, I just happen not to be the number one. And then that has happened many times. But you know what? After all of these series of happenings, I've realized that really, honestly, how much you learn from it. What have you gained from it? Mm-hmm. The crown is so beautiful, but even Tony Ann herself said, there's room enough in this world for all of us ladies to make an impact. Underneath this crown, not just me, but all of us have a crown. We are all Miss Worlds from our different countries. And that's what's beautiful about it. And I think when I came there, first of all, I came with the mind thinking, I'm going to be the queen. My country hasn't had this crown in a long time. But after being there and being with all these wonderful ladies, I've learned that really, honestly, what you are sent there to do is to learn from these other people and to give what you have from yourself so that more people can know more things to do that can make an impact in their different countries. And learning from all these other girls, from the way things are, and honestly experiencing new things was my new goal once I got there.
You know, I want to talk to you about Nigeria because there are some people here in this room who have not yet been. We spoke with another beauty queen a little earlier, Layla, and she was telling us about how difficult it was growing up in Angola. It was fresh out of war. There was still a lot of atrocities. We look at you as this beauty queen. I mean, I've seen the ramps that you have strutted and the things that you're doing globally. But where's Nyekachi from? I mean, how did Nyekachi grow up? Who is she?
Okay, so first of all, I grew up in a home. I am from Port Harcourt. It's in River State in Nigeria. It's my home. And I would say that I grew up as a child in a place where I saw a lot of people big, and I wanted to. The first Miss World from Nigeria, Abani Dorego, she was crowned when I was 3 years old, and she lived down the street from me, and she went to the same primary school as me. So I grew up always seeing her and thinking, my God, this is the way that I want to impact. This is the way that I want to be seen. And honestly, envisioning myself as a queen, I would wear my mom's clothes and shoes and walk around the house and paint lipstick on my face all the time. And I say, yeah, I'm a Bani. And little did I know that I would actually be there. And I think I grew up in a place where I saw many beautiful queens and I saw many beautiful people, but I had little. I grew up in a place where my community, we weren't exactly the most, fancy, or I went to school wearing my sister's uniform that she had passed down because that was what my mom wanted. That's what they could afford at that time. And going to a school with people that had more and being looked at funny, and people would think that why does she look so different? Why is her food smelling funny? And all of these many things that
can be sometimes hurtful.
Yes, and make me question, how can I even picture myself as a Vani when I cannot even stand, how can I compare with these people that are in my class? And it's crazy. And then going up and being in a place where trying to find myself and appreciating what I have and knowing that it's important and it's useful. And then finally just going up in the ladder and I'm obsessed with the fashion industry and just going to castings and keep getting rejected all the time and begging to volunteer just so that I can be a part of it because it's my passion.
And you're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. You know, you and I are having this conversation right now where it's the first time, 2019 was the first time ever that we had black women holding the crowns of the major coveted pageants in the world. So that's Miss America, Miss USA, Miss USA Teen, help me out here, Miss Universe, our very own Zosbini, and also Miss World.
Yes.
Would you say that things have opened up for black models, black supermodels, black beauty queens? Layla was talking about the racism a little bit earlier when she was Miss Universe in 2011. Do you still experience that as you try to fly Nigeria's flag high in the rest of the world?
I think for me, I'm a very positive person, so I try to take everything that people give me and think about it from the good side. Whilst at Miss World, I don't think there was a time where I felt a little less than because of my color. And I think that people are we're obviously starting to come out more in this industry, and I think that people are starting to notice that all women, all colors, all styles, we have something to give. We might give it in different ways, but we are all working towards the same goal, which is to make an impact, I would say. So I think the industry is definitely opening up, and it's definitely accepting more people of different color and different styles, not just black, all of it. So I think that there's definitely enough room for us to make the younger girls that were the small ones that lived in neighborhoods where they didn't have much, to see that they can actually stand up. And really what I want to do is to make these smaller girls to see that at the point where they are at is where we've all been at. We've all at one point been there, and it's not too impossible to come from small to there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Impossible is nothing. And tell us a little bit about being Miss World Africa, though. I mean, we sit in a room. There's women from all over the continent here. What's your job?
Well, my job is to sit down and look pretty.
Okay.
I think that for me, Miss World Africa is really for me to be able to reach out to the communities, not just. First of all, start with where I'm working with. I'm trying to improve a community. It's known as the largest floating slum in the world, and it's in Nigeria. It's called Makoko, and they have very poor waste management system there, and that's something that I'm really trying to work on, and infection prevention and control. So my job pretty much is to meet these people, improve the way they live, get funding, and kind of we just finished building a school there, and now we're going to start teaching these kids not just to learn biology. And in Nigeria, most people focus on the book. You have to be very, very book smart. You have to be an engineer, a lawyer, and I want them to explore these parts and also explore their creative sides, like the fashion designers, the hairdressers, the makeup artists, the athletes, and all of these things. So that's what I want. I really want to teach these kids about their personal hygiene in a way that they would learn it and teach it. It was just a generational thing, and it would just keep going and keep growing. So I would say my job would be to teach and to learn at the same time.
Wow. You know, Nyekachi, you're also studying, right?
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about that and what you're hoping, where you're hoping your studies will take you.
My studies, I'm hoping that with what I'm doing, obviously with personal hygiene in Makoko, is tied to my education. I am a public health major at the University of South Florida right now, and I'm hoping that I will be when I'm done with my education, I'll be able to go into infection prevention and control. I really want people in the community that I'm working with and in general all around the world to be more aware of personal hygiene. Things like coronavirus now could really have been reduced if we are practicing personal hygiene, like we're washing our hands daily, using hand sanitizer and all of this. And really what I dream for when I'm probably on the Forbes list is to make an impact where people teach something where people are practicing better personal hygiene from a young age, so that they've grown into it and it's now part of them. It's the way that they live.
You know, just as we come to a close, we're talking about women supporting each other and how that needs to perhaps take place a little bit more. What's your experience in your industry and on the continent? Because you do a bit of traveling right now. Is there areas where we can improve as women to support each other in our success, like you did with Torin?
I think that, first of all, we need to understand that everything does not need to be a competition. And I feel like the beauty in competing is actually learning from each other. We need to understand that really we're holding on to each other's hands, and that's the only way we can go up and rise up high. And I feel like we need to teach our women that we're not competing against each other for the attention of a man, rather that we're working with each other to make ourselves bigger and make a place where the younger girls are going to come and be equal with it's going to be an equal place. I think that it's very important for us to understand that the support that we give to people is important and very needed.
Sure. So to make it onto the Forbes list, last time I checked, you need to have some form of business going for you, some form of business that will make you a lot of money. Anything in mind right now?
Right now, I would say that something that I am really passionate about is really the pageant industry. And I want to start something that's going to teach our girls what really being a beauty queen is about. I feel like every time I say, I'm Miss World Africa, and they're like, oh yeah, you do look like a model. And I'm sitting there thinking, I know it says beauty queen, but it's really more about how much you have to give into the world. And I kind of want to teach these girls that being a beauty queen is not just about being pretty. It's really about what are you thinking? What's in your heart? Are you able to think about someone else? Are you able to think about someone that's not able to help themselves? And I want to build a place, an organization where these ladies are being trained. So when we go to things like Miss Universe, Miss World, we'll have more African queens coming back with the crown. I feel like we need that, and that's something that I'm really passionate about. I don't know how or when that's actually going to come to life, but that's definitely something I'm going to work in.
Well, there's something that we are certainly passionate about for you, and we look forward to you bringing back one of those crowns. Nyekachi, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.